In the world of Renegade Immortal, few forces are as shocking, as overwhelming, or as misunderstood as the Immortal Descendants. Born from ancient bloodlines and sealed beneath the surface of Suzaku Star for 10,000 years, they were once forgotten, buried by history, and stripped of their homeland. But when they rose again, they didn't just make a statement. They shook the foundation of the entire cultivation world. Their return forced Zhuquezi, a late-stage cultivator of the immortal realm, to self-destruct. A man once thought invincible, brought to his knees not by a rival, but by an entire civilization whose strength had been silently building in the shadows. This was not merely a war, it was a reckoning built on blood, betrayal, and buried truths. For generations, human cultivators believed themselves the rightful rulers of Suzaku Star. They saw themselves as the orthodox heirs of cultivation, but the truth was far more complex. Long before Ye Wuyu was granted the Suzaku Star by the so-called Cultivation Alliance, the land belonged to the Immortal Descendants. They were the true natives, and the human cultivators were the invaders. Their war was not one of justice, but of colonization. And what followed was a brutal campaign of suppression, led by Ye Wuyu himself, who sacrificed powerful cultivators and sealed the Immortal Descendants beneath the surface with 5 ancient swords. The victors wrote the history. The human cultivators became the natives. The real natives became myths until they returned. This is the cruel irony that defines the world of Renegade Immortal. Civilization, cloaked in righteousness, built its foundations on conquest. And when the Immortal Descendants emerged, their war was not one of conquest, but of reclamation. Their power was unlike anything human cultivators had ever seen. Their cultivation system was independent, rejecting spiritual energy and instead relying on the essence and blood of monsters to forge their strength. Their system, built on talisman power, gave them both the range of spellcasters and the brute force of warriors. A hybrid strength that overwhelmed opponents at every stage. Their strength was measured in leaves, 3 leaves matching the Yuanying stage, 7 leaves matching the Yingbian stage, and 13 leaves rivaling the power of Yinshu cultivators. Yet even at equal levels, human cultivators could not compete. Their techniques were brutal, efficient, and merciless. Secret arts that turned the fallen into puppets. Reincarnation spells that bypassed seals. Tactics built not just on individual power, but on the bloodlines of a united tribe. Even more terrifying was their patience. 10,000 years of plotting, a long, methodical conspiracy in which they sacrificed their own kin to create perfect infiltrators, human forms that blended into sects, gathering information, corrupting hierarchies from within. One of them, Zhuquezi, rose through the ranks, his betrayal shattering the already fragile Suzaku defense from the inside. And when the seal finally broke, 5 ancient ancestors, each beyond the middle stage of the aspiration realm, descended onto the battlefield. For human cultivators, it was the beginning of the end. There was no stopping it. The rebellion wasn't just about strength, it was about survival. Their demand was chillingly simple. Reclaim our homeland, eliminate the invaders. No diplomacy, no compromise, only war. The Cultivation Alliance's gift of Suzaku Star had never been about justice. It was never an act of kindness. It was a political burden passed off to Ye Wuyu, a pawn made to carry the consequences of colonial theft. And once the Immortal Descendants were sealed, their ability to reproduce was stripped away. They could only survive by using reincarnation magic, each new life a continuation of a hatred that never died. The deeper they were pushed underground, the deeper that hatred grew. When Wang Lin uncovered the truth, when he saw that the underground was filled with Immortal Descendants, his worldview shattered. The invaders were not the ones rising from below. They were the ones living above, enjoying stolen land. The theme of this conflict ran deeper than any one battle. It exposed the essence of the cultivation world itself. There are no heroes, no villains, only survivors. Only those who cling to their people and their homeland, no matter the cost. The spells of the Immortal Descendants tore through human sects. Their talisman puppets marched forward like an unstoppable tide. The grand formations of human cultivators, once believed impenetrable, crumbled like sandcastles. The betrayal by Zhuquezi and others within the sects meant that destruction did not only come from outside, it came from within. The human defense broke, their morale collapsed, and if not for the intervention of the mysterious Moji, who negotiated a temporary peace agreement to divide Suzaku Star equally, humanity would have been utterly destroyed. But even that peace was temporary, a silent pause between battles, a ceasefire built on shaky ground, destined to collapse. The true origins of the Immortal Descendants remain clouded. Some say they are the remnants of ancient immortals who lost a great war in the immortal realm, abandoned after massacring countless mortals, and driven to use forbidden medicine known as heavenly picking to continue surviving. Others believe they were once immortal servants, guardians of a mysterious crystal coffin, exiled into the human realm after the fall of the immortal realm itself. But regardless of their origin, their fate is undeniable. They were forsaken. They were twisted by pain, transformed by time, and driven to the brink by the betrayal of higher powers. They are not monsters. They are the result of survival pushed to its final form. Not evil by nature, but shaped by cruelty, loss, and war. Wang Lin, who eventually accepted some of them, understood this. As he said, there is no right or wrong, only positions. This is what elevates Renegade Immortal beyond the standard tropes of cultivation fiction. It is not just a tale of leveling up or defeating enemies. It is a story of civilizations colliding, of truth and lies tangled together, of power built on the bones of others. The Immortal Descendants represent everything uncomfortable about that truth. Human cultivators use spiritual energy. The Immortal Descendants use blood and essence. But both cultivate through death, through war, through conquest. So what makes one righteous and the other evil? When only one civilization can survive, what meaning does morality truly hold? The tragedy of the Immortal Descendants is not that they lost, it is that they were never given a choice. Abandoned, buried, and forced to become what they are today. Their rise and fall is not just a chapter in a novel, it is a mirror reflecting the ugliest sides of cultivation, power, and the will to live. In the vast world Ergen has created, there are no eternal victors, only those who endure. And when Wang Lin continues his journey to resurrect Li Muwan, the shadow of the Immortal Descendants follows him still. Because in a world where heaven's will is cruel and survival is everything, perhaps the true act of defying the heavens is holding on to one's humanity. If this glimpse into the brutal truth behind the Immortal Descendants left you thinking, then you already understand. Renegade Immortal is more than just a cultivation story. It's a world where survival trumps justice and power rewrites history. What side would you choose if everything you believe was a lie? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the darkest corners of Donghua and Xianxia. Until next time, cultivate wisely, because the heavens never show mercy.